Well, good afternoon, everybody. Kevin Crouch here with South Metro Weather. We are back with more live coverage as we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for parts of northern Johnson County, really most of Tarrant County, and just a piece of Dallas County. You can see that on the map there. As we zoom in here, I mean, the thing is, this storm has weakened fairly quickly, so I'm not really seeing much of a threat here now. Uh, we are limited in our view of what is going on just north of Burleson. That's the radar location. Those radar towers, they look outward, they don't look straight up. And so that can kind of limit what you are seeing there. So as we go forward with this, we are definitely looking at a storm that was much more intense before, definitely had some severe hail, but I will tell you that doesn't look too intense at this time. Now, a short time ago, about 5 minutes ago, Crowley, 2 miles east of Crowley, public reports hail of $half size. So that's just over an inch. So it sounds like maybe just near the Crowley areas where, so that's going to be right where that radar location is. So that's going to be part of that. Let us do this, and that'll give us a little bit of a better view. Well, maybe not. So I mean, this is looking at the DFW airport radar. This is not anywhere near as good a view. But looking at that, I mean, we are able to get a better view of that storm just a little bit. And it does look like that storm is going to continue to be severe. So it's not the storm near Joshua. It's the storm just north of Burleson near Rendon that has the warning associated with it. But again, when we look at the radar that is there in Burleson, it's really hard to see that because, again, that radar tower cannot look straight up from its location. Now, we also have a storm in the Arlington area that is also fairly intense. We should be able to see that one on the regular radar tower. So let's go back here, look at the velocity, the vertically integrated liquid. So again, we're not seeing anything in the Burleson area because it goes blind. It's in that blind spot. But, I mean, what we can see here is near Godley, that storm obviously more intense, and then both of those appear to weaken. Looks like maybe that has re-intensified as it moved into the Burleson area. And again, it's just kind of right in that blind spot. So it's hard to see exactly what we're dealing with. But that storm near Arlington, Grand Prairie area, that one is looking fairly heavy at this point. Doesn't look like that one is severe, but we are getting, so reports of kind of back to back. So near Burleson and then near Crowley, getting reports of quarter size hail and then $half size hail. So we do have decent hail falling. We got a brief bout of small hail here at the studio earlier. That storm that went over Scarborough Renaissance Festival carried on through downtown Waxahachie and then went forward from there on to, I believe, moving towards it moved here to the studio and then eventually it weakened before moving on towards Palmer and Ferris. So that was just small hail. Now, somebody reporting had golf ball size hail near Joshua, west of Joshua. So that would have been when that storm was more intense. And the way these things have been going today, I mean, these storms have been intensifying very, very quickly. This was really more of a reactionary warning here. Okay, so here's a radar update, and now we can see that little cell. So this one just north of Burleson. This is the storm that prompted the warning here, and it'll take a little while for the vertically integrated liquid to catch up to that, so we won't have that view yet, but that is the storm that has these hail reports that prompted this severe thunderstorm warning. And it's not a particularly intense storm by any means at this point that we're looking at, but it is enough. We'll say it that way. We definitely have a storm that is notable here and is bringing in large enough hail that the National Weather Service felt it necessary to issue that warning. Across the rest of our area right now, I mean, we just have scattered showers. I'll tell you, this storm north of Ennis, near Palmer, That one is fairly intense as well. That one may have a warning with it fairly soon. I think that the National Weather Service, I won't be surprised if they start issuing kind of more precautionary warnings here before too terribly long, because again, as quickly as these things intensify, but by the same token, I mean, look at how quickly they lose intensity. Look at this storm moving through Palmer. You can see a decent little hail core there, and then the next frame or two, it's gone. So these storms are hard to catch. It's hard to say which ones are going to intensify, and it's hard to say how long they're going to stay that intense, and it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen next. So it's just, it's hard to catch them with those severe thunderstorm warnings. So there are some of these that it may seem like, by the time you get a severe thunderstorm warning, it's almost useless. But those storms can re-intensify too. Looking at these from a wind perspective, I'm not seeing anything too terribly intense. Might be some gusty winds west of Joshua there with that storm that just moved out of the Godly area, but not really expecting too much, not really seeing much in terms of those strong winds. So mostly a hail threat across our area right now. As we go forward here, we can switch gears and go to the models and take a look at the HR model for tonight, because we do have one more round of storms that I expect to move through. Let's go back to the 21. One more round of storms that I expect to move through tonight. The good news is it doesn't look like a terribly late night. Mostly good news for me because I got no sleep last night. I finally got to sleep. I think I finally got to lay down about 5 a.m. or so this morning and slept until somewhere around 11. So, and that was kind of off and on sleep. So I got some rest, but I'm already tired, all ready to go to bed here. But that's 8 o'clock tonight. And so we will have a few storms. Most of those are going to be southwest of us. That's where the enhanced risk is. That's where the meat of this is going to be. And then that will move through our area, mostly south. Let me get some towns on here. And that's 10 o'clock tonight. And that's midnight. So again, I mean, we can see the rain kind of hanging on to the back side of this. And then as we go forward, that's 3 a.m. So it's moving out of there. And then to early tomorrow morning, we could have a few showers that kind of sneak through. But the good news is that we're not seeing, that's 9 a.m. We're not seeing what we saw yesterday and days prior, where we had a line of storms coming in early tomorrow morning. Not seeing that right now. In fact, it looks like tomorrow may just be some scattered showers and thunderstorms. I think we can expect that for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we have a higher chance of storms coming in Thursday. And then Friday looks like we might have a break. Saturday might have a few showers and thunderstorms. And then Sunday and Monday look dry. So we're actually kind of gradually going to get out of this active period. This stationary front's going to hang around a while. And then we've got another disturbance, I think, coming in time for Thursday that'll bring some activity. And then it kind of sputters out. So we're getting close to June here. And June is characteristic of these storm systems that just kind of pop up out of nowhere. And also those little popcorn thunderstorms that you tend to see. And then July and August, of course, are very dry and warm. September usually it can be as well. So we're getting ready to shift our seasons here. June 1st is the beginning of meteorological summer. So we won't quite be in summer mode. I think we're going to have some active weather, maybe bleed into June a little bit. But we are definitely kind of getting into that new stage of spring here, late spring, early summer, where we tend to have those storm systems that just kind of pop up and roll in. So the weather gets a little unpredictable this time of year. So I know that's everybody's favorite thing, but that's the stage of the season that we're getting into right now. And so we will do our best to keep you informed, of course, around the clock if necessary. But for today, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in place that runs until 6:30. So, about another 20 minutes or so, 24 minutes from now. Not anything too intense at this point, really precautionary, as we were seeing some larger hail in that storm. So you can see that storm east of Palmer already weakening here. So again, pretty impressive look there. And then just the very next frame, it's already, beginning to weaken. So not much happening at this point. It's just, we're not looking at any kind of severe weather in our area. I think the storm that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning in, the Fort Worth, Burleson, Arlington area, I'm pretty sure that's probably no longer warranted at this point. We'll take a look at that. Well, we do have that storm west of Burleson that looks like it's intensifying now. But that storm, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like I say, these little storms, they briefly bloom and they briefly intensify. And then as soon as they are, picking up steam, they weaken again. So it's hard to catch these. I mean, you can have a severe thunderstorm that is, defined severe, by the actual criteria for, 5 minutes and then it weakens again. So that's kind of the nature of what we're seeing here. So if you have a fairly intense storm that ends up not really if it ends up as, a fairly intense storm and you see, quarter size hail and there's no warning with it, doesn't mean the National Weather Service doesn't know what they're doing. Just means that these storms are just kind of going rogue here. They're just kind of doing their own thing. And it's really hard to catch them in that mode. And by the time you're issuing the warning, they've probably weakened again. So rough day for the folks trying to put warnings out and that kind of thing. It's just not one of those you can really plan on or pay a whole lot of attention to or really nail down. So it's just one of those days. And tonight, again, after 7-8 o'clock, we have another round of storms possible. So here in the next couple of hours, we'll see if that comes together. And then after that, we get a little bit of a break. I mean, the next couple of days, like I said, some storms are possible, but we should get a break after that going into the next several days. Wade asking, have you seen the chase videos and photos out of Mason? I haven't really been able to do much today looking around. I've been focused on covering our area. So maybe in the next few days, I'll have a chance to kind of go back and look at some things that happened in other parts of our state. But yeah, right now I haven't really had much of a chance to look outside of what's right in front of me. So, but I'll go back, I'm sure, and it'll pop up in some places, and I'll be able to catch it. So really, like I say, I mean, as soon as we, have the severe weather threat, it just kind of falls apart. So there really isn't much to cover here. But I knew that, at least some of you were going to get that severe thunderstorm warning, wonder what was going on. So the severe storm, as it is, I mean, probably isn't very severe at this point. Just a quick ramp up of a storm. And, they had some urban centers there, so they wanted to warn about that one going through. But at this point, these storms are going to be quick to move through. Just a quick downpour, maybe some small hail as it passes through. Might have one or two of these to get a little spicy for a little while. But other than that, I mean, that's really going to be just about it. So stay tuned to South Metro Weather. We're going to bring more updates for you. We may have more information or more coverage tonight as those more intense storms move through. We'll see what those end up doing. I don't know that it's a slam dunk that we're going to see those, but, the models have been suggesting pretty consistently that we're going to see, maybe one more round of more intense thunderstorms. So we'll keep an eye on it. And we'll keep going there. And Alicia Vasquez, you're asking, where am I located? I'm in Waxahachie, Texas. We're covering north central Texas between Dallas and Waco. So thank you so much for tuning in. More updates are to come, so stay tuned.